All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. The doors are opening. We'll give it just a moment here. Let everybody get in. It is warm outside. It's not sunny, but it's not freezing.
Give it time, give it time.
So I'm excited. I love spring. And I'm looking out of our windows here and I see shoots of green. All the bulbs are coming up. So I love spring. I get excited. I love fall. You know, I like all the seasons. I can't say I have a favorite, although winter is probably the one I want to cut short the most.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll give everybody just a few more seconds here. Get the doors open. Hope everyone's having a good Tuesday. Okay, well, good morning. If I haven't met you, my name is Candace Swick. I'm the marketing director here at Westminster Village. And this young lady beside me is Stacy Davis. She's our culinary director. And you'll notice her attire today. So this is Spirit Week here at Westminster Village. And I did not participate today, but I have appointments. So it's hat day, jeans day. And I didn't think it'd be appropriate to go to appointments with a baseball hat on, even though I'd like to, or my big sun hat. I could have worn my big sun hat, but anyway, it's a fun week here. Every day is a theme. Patty's Day is part of this week. Yesterday was Sportswear Day, like wear your favorite team. And
tomorrow's Pick a Decade.
Oh yeah, so it's dressing up. I won't be here the next 2 days, so I have to miss out on some of those things. I've got an exciting family event coming up. Friday is, what's Friday?
Superhero Day.
I'm gonna have to raid my daughter's dress up bin, see what I can find. She's got capes.
I mean, if you can wear a cape to work, that'd be.
she has something for every single. She's kind of a superhero geek. Okay, so welcome to Village Chat. It's Tuesday. It's 10 a.m. We are continuing on with this. I think it's a really important series. It's on education and the 8 dimensions of wellness. We started off with Jill Hunt, who is our health navigator here on site, and she's the dimensions of wellness expert. She's actually gone and taken classes on this, and she introduced it to us. I think a lot of people have heard of these. I didn't know the history behind it or necessarily the science, and that was interesting to learn more of that from Jill. But this is all leading up to a really, I think, very cool event that we have happening at the end of the month. It is a type of wellness fair, if you will. This is the invitation. So you should have gotten this in the mail, and I'll be sending some things out by email. You do need to RSVP for this because this is an interactive event that you can participate in, where you'll get to learn the different areas of the village that represent the dimensions, from Chaplain Laura and meditation to brain games and keeping our brains active and going, art experience, excerpt of a compilation of fitness with Justin and some of the things they do in the Live Well Center. What else is there? There's the vocational, there's just all the different parts. So there's 8 stations and 8 things that you'll do, and you'll just kind of go around. Each thing lasts about 10 minutes, 10 to 20 minutes, depending on what they are. And Stacy is with us today because she is going to be sharing all about the nutrition, which falls under the physical aspect. So just to recap the dimensions: physical, social, intellectual, vocational, emotional, environmental, and health services. So before we jump into what you'll be doing there, can you just tell us a bit about yourself? You're fairly new to the village, and I've had the pleasure of getting to work with you for over 6 months
Just
now?
over 6 months. I just hit my 6-month anniversary, so I've pretty much gotten fairly acclimated to the village now. Big learning curve over the last couple months, but I feel like my feet are pretty wet. I've got another 6 months. We've got some exciting things going on with the project happening over in C building that'll come over into the main areas over here, which we will see a whole new makeover.
Not everybody is aware of that yet. So they may not know what you're talking about. You just got a sneak peek on something huge that's happening at the village if you don't know. We can talk about that in a minute.
We'll get back to that. But so learning all the different areas here, the ins and outs of the health center, as well as independent living, and outside of the big house, as they refer to it, the cottages and the hybrids as well. and bringing that all together with everyone's favorite topic of food. We've tried to bring some new things into the village, as well as many favorites and different concepts, and we'll continue to learn and develop new themes and new ideas. And we always take everybody's feedback and see how we can make it into our own. I know it's a question coming up, but one of our big things has been getting the pub reopened. So for those of you who are unaware, the pub is open Monday through Friday from 11 to 1:30 for lunch. And on Fridays and Saturdays, it is open from 4 to 7, 30, no, 4,
It's open for
4 to
dinner.
7 for dinner. I see. We do have a new menu with some oldie favorites on it, as well as new items. And everything's been going very well in there. It's a great atmosphere. And it's been the football and basketball highlights here over at the village for all games, not just Purdue, but Purdue IU highlighted. This week we'll be having all the games on. So the pub doors are open during all Purdue games, and this week we'll have them on for the NCAA tournament games as well.
It's a pretty rowdy down there when I walk past.
Some days it sure is.
The food has been amazing. I've eaten in there a few times since you reopened, and I've tried the new items. The hamburgers are delicious, and I'm a fussy foodie. I'll admit it.
I've dined out with her. She is.
I am, but it's good. But you also have an amazing chef team.
Yes, we do. Our executive chef, Sean Ford, he's leading our team. As a lot of our chefs, I always say it's my inheritance package when I got here. So our team of chefs are amazing. Some of you have maybe seen some of the new baked goods that we've been serving. More to come with that as time rolls on. And we work very well as a whole team. It's a team effort back there, from the servers, the dishwashers, to all the cooks and chefs that are back there. My favorite phrase since I've been here is it takes a village, and it does. And teamwork is what makes the dream work. But I couldn't do anything without my staff and my team. So, and that's not just the culinary team, it's the whole village team. It does take a village.
How did you get into this field, Stacy? Because you've told me over and over, I'm not a cook, but you know how to make it come together, organize it, look good.
Years and years
and
of
you appreciate it.
Years and years of experience, years of working with recipes in corporate worlds, it's a lot of operational experience is how I've become successful in my career. No, I will always tell you, I am the worst cook in there. I'd say I'm a food cost nightmare is what I really am, but I have visions, and I rely on teams that I've worked with currently and in the past to help execute those visions that I have. And I think it's just experience, and then listening to the residents and what their needs are. Because my last previous job was at Subaru, where I was feeding thousands of majority men, big meals. That is not what's here at the village. It's learning to adapt to different portion sizes, and wanting more small items and not big heavy meals, and learning how everybody eats, and knowing to make sure I keep ice cream on hand at all times in every flavor.
I will say the baked goods, I just get excited. I know it's probably not the healthiest for me, but I get really excited about the baked goods. So
hey, everything in portion
in moderation.
Moderation
right?
is just fine.
Right. Okay. So moving on to what we're here for today. Thanks for sharing us some of your history.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, you're a Purdue grad.
I am
So
a Purdue
you're
grad.
not from here, but you went to Purdue and you stayed.
I'm a Boilermaker through and through. So
I'm getting educated.
I bleed black and gold, really, because I'm originally from Pittsburgh, and my Pirates and Steeler roots. Yep, I literally bleed black and gold. When anyone asks me my favorite color, I say black and gold. That's my favorite color.
Well, it was, I'm getting educated on all things Purdue. If anyone knows, I'm not really the sports aficionado. But my whole family is, and everyone around me is. So I absorb things through osmosis.
We're gonna get her.
They're trying. I follow along and I really enjoy it. So that's something. Okay, so in reviewing this whole topic, when I came to you and said, hey, I'd like to really share what makes the village special. I mean, it's the residents, it is the collaborations here, it's the people, but it's a really, when you dig into it, it goes beyond that. There is a really specific way that we have approached wellness at Westminster Village. And I don't know that when you first look at it, you realize how intentional it is. There's a lot of intentionality here in how programs are developed and put together. And a lot of those are run by residents, but a lot of those are run with village staff. So that part I just think is so unique here to the village, this collaboration. And I decided that, we talk a lot about how beautiful the village is. We talk a lot about our homes and their, all the renovations we're doing. I think we need to share the actual nuts and bolts, that's the lipstick, that's the beauty. Yes, we all want to be comfortable and have a beautiful home, but what makes it work? Why is, if you're here, why is there a tendency to be healthier? Is it just the social aspect? What goes into that? And so that was kind of the premise for, hey, let's share that piece. Let's share the 8 dimensions of wellness and how one, educate on that, and then how we implement it here. And so when I came to you and I said, hey, Stacy, I think this would be a great opportunity because you really care about fitness.
I do.
It is something that is dear to your heart, and fitness and just being healthy. And so I thought, well, this would be perfect opportunity for you to share the piece that the culinary department brings into it. And that obviously would be nutrition, but there's more to it. So share with us a bit about that.
When I first saw the dimensions that we were focused on, I found, and I think every department really can find a way to incorporate every one of the dimensions into their department. And you think about the food side of it and you're like, oh, how can that be environmental? Well, it can. Just by the types of food we're doing and the different, in the way we're taking care of it at the end, when the disposal and that type of things of it. But one of the big ones that stands out to me is the social aspect of food. When we dine together, that is a social aspect that is very unique in this type of living atmosphere. This is how you get to know new people. This is how you get to, you might be, up in your room all day long and then come down, and then that you have that time to spend with others. You get to know others. You get to learn about people's history. You get to associate with our staff throughout the entire village. I'm sure many of you know some of the staff on a personal level, and that's what takes it that step further into these different dimensions. Physical, obviously with what we're putting into our bodies does affect our physical, not just, oh, I can walk to, I'm going to go out for a walk today, but also our digestive, our digestive things. And, making sure that we're keeping the lower sodium diets, and knowing what affects your stomach in different ways. As we change throughout our lives, different things become affected differently from different foods. You'll hear me if you back when I first started, hydration. Just coming into the dining areas, we serve you water. That's the first thing, because it's important to stay hydrated, and it's hard throughout the day when you're busy to remember to keep drinking. But hydration is so important for our physical and intellect. It's also an intellectual catalyst as well. So there's just all aspects that can be used from the food side of it. And I think that's important to remember, that it's not just that's my health, or that obviously the one thing that's always different with you have to eat. There's no, that you don't have, it's fuel. You have to eat and you have to drink. There's no, I'm not going to eat this week because, to make me feel better or anything like that. Maybe certain physical activities you don't do, or you do because of how things are how life is happening. But food is something that's a constant with you that you must do every single day. And I have the pleasure of being able to provide that to every resident here every day.
It's something that I look forward to. I think that really talking about the social part, we were talking about this the other day. I think it's even bigger in dining. I mean, I read a quote once where, to take food with someone, to take a meal with someone is a whole different level of intimacy. And it brings about this level of closeness, and you get to know people on a different level when you actually dine together. There's just something different about that than versus just a quick chat or sitting down, whether it's a cup of coffee or, a snack, but dining together is a big deal. So I think you're right. That social piece is a big part of it. And then just what we decide to put in our bodies, like you said, moderation, but just being intentional about what we eat. So tell us so you and Sean, our executive chef, are going to be giving kind of a demonstration, and you're doing smoothies.
Yes, we are.
And tell us a bit about what you have planned.
Well, not to give it all away, we will be demonstrating a smoothie, a very simple smoothie that you can make in your own, in your home, very simply. And it's just a quick, easy, nutritious drink to enjoy. So which kind of brings me back a little bit to the emotional wellness factor as well, because you do find enjoyment with eating, whether it is that dip of Moose Tracks ice cream at the end of the day, at the end of your meal, or the butternut squash soup at the beginning of your meal. There's certain things you look forward to. So, but we know that not everybody eats every meal here, down here in the dining areas or out here. You also eat at home, and learning to, after, having and raising families and different things, it becomes, oh, what do I do? It's only one or two of us now. And how, how to adapt to that. So Sean and I will be giving some ideas on how to cook for, one or two, and how to plan ahead and make it simple at home, not to overthink it, and how to make it simple yet nutritious, and be able to fill your voids from when you aren't down here at the dining areas.
I'm looking forward to that because I think that is difficult. I have found it difficult just with sometimes three. And we actually used at our home, we tried some of the meal kits for a while. And something interesting, my daughter really learned how to develop her cooking skills with those, but it helped keep us healthy and on track. The interesting thing was, though, we've kept the recipes we liked, and we can just, repeat those. But it becomes harder because there's only three of us left at home, and I can, in the next 10 years, there's only going to be two of us left at home, and so forth and so on. So yeah, I think that becomes a challenge. And how do you do that and do it easily and quickly? When you're used to cooking for a crowd,
Right.
Yeah, I can throw out the Christmas dinner and the Easter and the big brunches, but how do I do on a daily basis where sometimes it becomes too easy to say, I'll just go eat a bowl of cereal.
And there's a lot of people who don't like to use leftovers. And it's funny because I just read a funny thing online. It was, I never throw food away. I always put it in Tupperware containers and wait for it to go bad, then throw it away. And it made me laugh because guilty as charged. But so, when you're cooking at home for yourself, to look at what you are going to reuse. As an example, I eat salmon at home a lot. And
what's going on?
Does sound like a tornado siren.
Well, I think it might be the safety check siren that goes off because it's spring. Okay, so if you hear that, there's
new sirens for us, for me anyway.
I think it's the safety
and it's not
sirens.
and it's not 11 o'clock on Saturday morning. So so for as an example, for when I cook at home, I eat salmon a lot. I will never reheat. I just can't do it. It's not something I wouldn't. So I don't cook that in bulk, where some other things like chicken, I might, because I will reheat that and eat it. So knowing what things I would reheat and not, and then preparing other items on a smaller scale, just for one or two people, helps make the daily eating a lot less worrisome and thinking, what am I going to eat, or how am I going to do that? But we'll do all that for you down here in all of our areas. So, when on those nights or afternoons where, or afternoons where you're like, oh, I just don't feel like cooking, that's where we come into play, and we have it. And just as a reminder, we have our buffet out for lunch and dinner, but we also have a menu of available items every day. And quite honestly, if it's something you want, just ask us. We almost can make almost anything on a whim. Especially some, so if you want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, we can make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Never hesitate to ask for something that might just because it's not on a physical menu doesn't mean we can't do it. We are more than happy to provide whatever it is that you're wanting from us. So
very good. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us. I'm excited for this event. I think it's going to be really interesting. And like I said, be sure to get your RSVPs in because of how this is set up, and you'll be going to different sessions. We want to make sure that we accommodate everybody and have it organized properly. So, and we have some really good swag bags. So I have to make sure we have enough stuff. We're putting in those final orders, and of course we'll order ahead for that, but we want to make sure we're ready.
And of course, at my station, we will have samples of things.
Oh yes, I will be looking forward to that. Healthy samples, healthy snacks. This will be about healthy.
Yes.
So it'll be good though. Thank you so much. Okay, so if you have questions on anything, just go ahead and put that in the chat. And in the meantime, while we're giving you a chance for that, we're going to pop over to Stacy. Yeah, our Stacy. You're Stacy. Stephanie.
I say I don't have the sales update, so.
Oh gosh, Stephanie, what do you got for us?
Good morning. Just like Stacy, not Stephanie, said, our pub is open for lunch and dinner on the weekend, so make sure you join us soon. As Candace was talking about, the dimensions of wellness, please RSVP. There's limited seating. We want to make sure that we have a good grip on everyone that's coming. Wear something comfy because this is a progressive through our community. So dress comfy and depositors. We have something special coming up for you. So check the Club WV in your inbox for an invitation to a special event. And as always, if you like Westminster Village, please like our page, leave us a review on either Facebook or Google, any platform that you use. If you need help with that, please give me an email or a call. We'd be happy to discuss with you. That's all I have today.
Thank you, Stephanie. Stephanie, not Stacy. So speaking of some other updates, be on the lookout for some other information too, because Stacy alluded to, and some people may know this, but we do have a huge project that's being undertaken here at the village. We are expanding, and we will have details about that in the coming weeks. We'll be doing some different events, and we'll do some things here on Village Chat to share it with you all. We are very excited. Things are going to look really different. So it's a big deal. There hasn't been a major expansion like this since the hybrids and the LiveWell Center were added to the village. So that's big stuff happening here. So that's exciting. And yes, Stephanie did mention we do have a very special event that is for residents and depositors only. So if you are a depositor, please, please, please check your email. I will be sending out an invitation to that and let you know what it is. It's something that we used to be able to do pre-pandemic, and we're able to bring it back. So really, really excited. It's coming up in April 3rd. It's on a Sunday afternoon. That's the only hint I'll give you, but it's something that everyone here really looks forward to. So is that a good hint? What's a hint?
That's a hint. You gave the date. That's enough.
Okay. I mean, there'll be good refreshments.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, because you're making.
Oh, that's right.
Well, I mean, maybe not you, but your team.
I say my team.
You helped me figure out the menu for that. So yeah, pretty excited about that. So be sure to be looking in your inbox so that we can share that with you. As I said, it is a private event. for residents and depositors only. So that is really all we have for today. Next week, we'll have Rachel Witt. I'll be down in the art studio with her. She's going to be sharing her expertise on the dimensions of wellness and how the art experience comes into that. And if you follow our Facebook, you recently saw an article that I posted that Rachel shared with. It was actually Rachel shared that. It actually was a study, and fascinating. I mean, really fascinating. Along with the dimensions of wellness, I mean, it really just hones that in, because the studies show that people who experience and engage in arts of any kind, musical, or physical arts, live longer. And I thought that was just pretty unbelievable that there's solid proof. I mean, we all say that. I think that.
Again, another area that can take on all the dimensions.
Completely all the dimensions.
All of
so very, very vital. So anyways, I'm really excited to be in the art studios next week with Rachel and learn about that and share that with all of you. So have a great week, everyone.
Here's a question, Candace.
Email. Oh, we have a question. I'm so sorry. Thank you, Stephanie. Oh, we almost let go. Patsy, how do you handle residents' needs for food allergies like gluten? That's a question for you, Stacy.
We have, as long as it's communicated, we keep some gluten-free items on hand. I do have a specific resident who eats with us daily. They do know their diet as well as to what they can and cannot eat, but when wanting very specific things, we do have some gluten-free items available on hand. So it's more just communication and knowledge of who has these specific dietary needs. And again, we can make anything, we can modify things. There's some days I know we don't, when I look at the sides, I'm like, oh boy, they're not going to be able to eat anything that we make the adjustments for that. But I do keep like buns, we have muffins, brownies. I have a cake as well that are all gluten-free that are kept on hand at all times. And then sometimes for specific events, I'll make adjustments and have some gluten-free items available.
Very good. I'm glad that you do that. I think it's interesting because not all communities cater to diets. I came from the corporate side, and that was just something that they did not do.
No, we absolutely do. I am surprised by we don't see as many allergies and different things as I had expected to see coming in. So that's was a surprising thing. We have a peanut allergy here and there, but nothing really too complicated. And but we are willing to study and learn. Also have a dietary manager and nutritionist on hand on site as well. So if I don't have the answer, I do refer to them for any guidance as well.
Very good. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. If there's no other questions, and if there's something you think of later, by all means, email me. I will send out the recording this week. Actually, because I'm out the next 2 days, I'll be getting that out today. And you can always respond to that if you had a question that you thought of for Stacy and her team or for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.